But although looking happy and harmless, he is a feared coeval, the grouper. It may not look obvious, but he is one of the most successful predators in the coral reef. Some species can even become more than 2 meters long. Their danger is the element of surprise, in particular the mouth of groupers, which is much bigger than the mouth of other fish, and that's very important. Like the stonefish, which we met earlier, they rip their mouth very fast and suck in their prey within seconds. As the coral reef is a nursery ground for nameless species, there are always possibilities for the grouper to appease his hunger. Groupers rely a lot on their hunting grounds. As time goes on, the males dominate more and more and make their demands on larger areas. The groupers consist of many different species. They may look very different, but all species use their territories to maintain real harems of females. The offspring of groupers is always female, and just like Anthias, who also have female young blood, the females do not remain subordinates of one single male. In opposite to these schooling fish, the male does not have to die to provoke the sex change. Instead of that, the females turn into males 7 to 10 years after their first egg deposition and after they have found their own territory. This guarantees the preservation of the species. What seems to be a sea snake at first sight is in truth a moray. The ribbon moray eel, as we see it now, is the most eye-catching species of morays. During their lifetime, they abandon the black and white coloring and change finally to females. Morays start their extensive foraging out of caves where they spend most of the day. On one side, the chasms are great spots for an ambush, and on the other one, they are places to adjourn. Some species even spend their entire life in the countless caves of the coral reef and never reach the open water bodies. That is why they are dark horses for scientists. Characteristics for all subspecies is the pulsating opening and closing of the mouth, but that is not a threat. It is just their way to breathe. In opposite to that most refreshing breath as they let water flow through their gills. But therefore, their mouth must be opened all the time. It is these contrasts that make a beautiful part of Earth to a center of biological variety. In the evening, most species go for long forays through the reef on their search of food. As their sense of seeing is quite poor, morays cannot rely on their eyes. Instead, they have an extraordinary sense of smell and are able to smell their potential prey from a distance. But this is not the only present Mother Nature gave the morays. In addition to their normal set of teeth, they own a second jaw behind the teeth to make it possible for them to swallow up the prey even faster. Rightly, those predators are feared by other fish in their hunting grounds. Have you heard of the expression, as flat as a pancake? Well, that is a very good description for our next guest. A blue-spotted ribbon-tail ray does strobe the underground at the sandy foot of the coral reef for food. This is how the ray spends most of the day on the seabed. Although eating smaller animals most of the time, he waylays a bigger morsel of food from time to time. Once leaving his spot of lookout, he floats with elegant pounding of the waves through the magical underwater scenery.